Morning. It's Saturday the 11th of February 2023 and I'm going to be starting a walk here in Barlborough, but before I do so I think we're going to have a look around the church.
This is the church of St James the Greater in the village of Barlborough, situated in the Bolsover district of Derbyshire. The church was built in the mid-12th century on or near the site of an earlier Saxon church.
Locked. A lot of churches that I've been trying to visit recently have been locked, so... Oh well, I can't go inside, never mind. But as with all churches, it still looks lovely on the outside. I'll just go and have a look around Barlborough village now.
Barlborough's documented history goes back over 1,000 years, the Rhodes family having a strong influence over the parish for 300 years. The village has developed around farming and mining, but has still retained its old charm, with many fine buildings dating back to the 16th century. Opposite the Rose and Crown pub is the village cross, at the base of which a plaque was erected to commemorate the successful campaign from 1969 to 1971 to keep Barlborough in Derbyshire. This arch is the entrance to the memorial garden.
Memorial arch, erected in 1869 by William Hatfield de Rhodes of Barlborough Hall, in memory of his wife, Sophia Felicite de Rhodes, née Curzon, who died aged 34 on the 2nd of April 1869.
There are 4 memorials in the garden to miners killed in mining disasters or accidents, to the Barlborough men who were killed in the 2 World Wars, and to local hero Fred Greaves, who was awarded the Victoria Cross. The village hall opened in October 1993 by Sir Rearsby Sitwell and Dennis Skinner MP. Next to this is the Heritage Centre, which aims to record and preserve the history, heritage and memories of this ancient village. The centre is in the old schoolhouse, set in the grounds of Barlborough Primary School, opposite the main village green. I walked along Ward Lane, heading north from the village.
Forgive me having to raise my voice a little bit, but the M1's nearby again, so I'm conscious of the noise coming from there. The M1 has featured in a lot of my recent walks, hasn't it? Anyway, it's been really nice having a quick look around Barlborough. Even though I come to this part of Derbyshire a lot again, I very rarely venture into Barlborough village, because the village centre, you have to turn off the main road to get to it, so... But it's worth doing that, because it is a pretty little village. And just as I was taking my last few shots around the village, just outside the Heritage Centre there, a very friendly chap came out and said hello to me, and he said, "Oh, if you want leaflets of walks, we've got plenty inside," he said. I said, "Well, thank you very much, but I have got a walk planned for today." But yeah, he seemed a friendly chap. But, so yeah, the walk I've plotted today is one that I've created myself, and it comes to just under 7 miles. So, apart from Barlborough, I'll be visiting 2 other villages today.
I eventually passed near Barlborough Hall, built in 1584 for the Rhodes family, who never actually lived there. It was eventually sold to the Jesuits in 1938. The army used the hall during World War II, after which it was returned to the Jesuits. It is now a private school, where it is said the Grey Lady walks the corridors.
You have been warned. I didn't want to go that way anyway. That's fine, because my path takes me over there anyway. It's still been nice to see a little bit of Barlborough Hall, because I've never seen it before. Impressive looking building. Okay, onward.
I went through a kissing gate and followed a footpath as I headed north. After about a third of a mile, I turned left at a waymark to walk over a footbridge crossing the M1 motorway. Once I was at the other side, I continued along paths through fields as I made my way westwards.
Now that I've crossed the M1, I'm walking west away from it now. But, hopefully that means the noise levels will drop. Apart from the wind, there's a bit of wind. Yeah, I think this is going to be a nice walk today. Got some nice views already as I walk this way. See over towards Sheffield and can sort of see the hills of the Peak District beyond it. It was lovely. So this is another walk I've not done before. As I've been saying a lot lately. I've been to Barlborough in this area a lot, but I have never done a walk here before. I think it's nice to come somewhere different for a change, really. I think when I come out and film, and I think I've said this before as well, it makes me go to places I wouldn't normally go to. I was having a conversation with somebody last night, actually, and I was saying that I actually find that when you look at a map for ages, you think, oh, where shall I walk today? And I often end up going to the same places because I know I like them. And I've also got some books of walks. I've got the OS Pathfinder guides, which are great. And they've got sort of circular walks in the Peak District. So again, I find them very helpful because I think I've done all the walks in those books now anyway. And as I say, I've yet to film more of them. But again, they are a way of making you go to places that you wouldn't normally choose because the walk's already there for you. I mean, today, this is a walk in North East Derbyshire and Bolsover that I had to plot myself. But again, because I wanted to do some more walks in other parts of Derbyshire that isn't in the Peak District, it's got me out here and it's great to just explore different areas for a change. So yeah, it's really nice. I just enjoy it, really enjoy it. I'm in my element at the moment because, you know, we're into February and I've already done quite a few walks in sort of the northeast area of Derbyshire, and it's been great. It's been really nice, and it's been a real revelation just to come and do different walks in places that I have been familiar with, but just not explored on foot, and it just makes all the difference. It's really nice.
In just under a mile, I passed Park Hall, lived in by the Pole family, who were prominent in the history and church politics in the 16th century. The house has seen many changes and was latterly converted from a country club into a private residence.
Just touching on a subject I've been talking about recently, when I was passing Park Hall there, I didn't really want to be sort of standing outside pointing a camera at it because it's a private residence and there are other private residential properties nearby. So again, I just took a couple of discreet shots from a distance so that people couldn't see that I was literally standing outside their private property pointing a camera at them. So, but yeah, as I say, I've always got to be careful about how I do that. Anyway, I am now approaching the next village on the walk.
Reaching the main road, I crossed over into Spinkhill, a small village in northeast Derbyshire, walking past the Angel Inn, Spinkhill's only pub. The Catholic Church of the Immaculate Conception, designed by Joseph Aloysius Hanson, was completed in 1846. It was refurbished in the 1960s, and a new altar was dedicated in 1989.
Just thinking actually that Spinkhill is probably one of the villages in Derbyshire that I visited less than most of the others. I think I've actually only ever driven through Spinkhill a few times, and probably the number of times that I've done that I can count on my fingers on one hand. So again, it's really nice to actually be walking through Spinkhill today. The question is the church going to be open? Locked. Most of the churches are locked nowadays. It's a shame because I just love going inside churches. Oh well. I can always admire it from the outside as always.
Taking a footpath leading along the edge of playing fields, I could see Mount St Mary's Catholic College. There has been a Jesuit presence in Spinkhill since 1580, when the manor sheltered the first Jesuit fathers working in England during the Reformation. In its present form, Mount St Mary's College was opened on the 17th of September 1842, under the administration of the Jesuit order. The first pupil was John Young.
Nice to see something in Derbyshire I've not really seen properly before. Yeah. Just goes to prove my point I've made time and time again lately, that you need to park your car up, get out and walk. Nice day for a football match. It's funny, I've never liked football, never been into football at all. But, I can see why other people enjoy it. It's just not something I've chosen to watch or play. I played it when I was younger, but I was never very good at it. But, I've only ever really watched football with friends. I got a friend who was a fan of Derby County, and sort of years ago, before he was married, I went down on the train a couple of times to watch Derby with him. I mean, it was an experience. It was just a day out for me, but I didn't really enjoy the game. It was just an experience, and I just remember enjoying watching the spectators more, the way they shouted at the players. That was more entertaining than the game itself. Hey-ho.
Beyond the playing fields, I followed a track for just under half a mile, where I had good open views of Sheffield to the north.
Okay, so down there is another section of the Chesterfield Canal. That sort of that trench on the right. No water in this bit though. That path alongside it will be the Cuckoo Way, and then where all those people are walking on the old railway track, that's another part of the Trans-Pennine Trail. Okay, I'm just going over this way for a bit further. So there's the Trans-Pennine Trail and the Chesterfield Canal just over there, but I'm going to be following this bridleway down this way, which practically runs parallel to it all, but this is going to take me out onto the road.
Reaching the road, I followed it to a T-junction on the edge of Renishaw.
This building here is an old toll house on the outskirts of Renishaw.
I walked up the A6135 through Renishaw, which is most famous for nearby Renishaw Hall, the home of the Sitwell family for the last 400 years.
So there's Renishaw Miners' Welfare, Renishaw and Spinkhill Community Hall. Well, so I'm just going to walk along the main road for a bit, and I'll find a footpath off the main drag, just take me back towards Barlborough.
I eventually turned right off the main road to follow a footpath soon leading me through Bayton Fields.
As I slowly make my way back towards Barlborough, I'm going to give today's shout out. And today's shout out goes to Barry from Brimington Common. Hi Barry. I actually met Barry, was it 2 or 3 weeks ago? We actually have been following each other on Instagram for a while, but when I was doing my last walk, when I filmed my last walk, it was a very misty morning, and as I was crossing this field, a figure came out of the mist towards me. And it was Barry, and he recognised me straight away. So we stopped and spoke for a while. Barry enjoys walking, but yeah, it was nice to meet you, Barry. I sort of recognised you as soon as I saw you, really, because as soon as you said who you were, I thought, ah yes, you do look familiar, because I'm still not really that au fait with Instagram, despite having used it for a couple of years or so now. But you know, you follow people, they follow you, and I get some really odd people that follow me, so I end up blocking them actually. So I think they're sort of, you know, they're scams. But yeah, Barry was somebody that's been following me for a while, so I've been following him, and yeah, he just recognised me as I was walking towards him through the fog that day. So yeah, Barry's from Brimington Common, he likes walking, and we just stopped and spoke for a while. But yeah, I know it was brief, Barry, but it was lovely talking to you, so I'm sure I'll bump into you again in the near future.
In a short while, I turned left along a path climbing slightly across the fields in a northeasterly direction, which, after less than half a mile, would lead me onto Westfield Lane.
I'm nearly back at Barlborough now. I should soon be crossing the M1 again. But before I reach it, just so that I don't have to raise my voice again over the sound of the traffic, I'll just say thank you for watching. Hope you've enjoyed joining me on today's walk. So yeah, another walk in Derbyshire's Bolsover district and a little bit of northeast Derbyshire. And I have to say it's been very pleasant. So yeah, it's a totally new walk for me. And I say, lived here 20 years, lived in Derbyshire for 20 years. and there are still lots of walks I haven't done and have still yet to do.